and I see some dismissive critics saying, well, Vampire Weekend's back on their bullshit.
It's been 6 years since Vampire Weekend last released an album, and heaps has changed for lead singer Ezra Koenig. He's now a dad, he's got a 1-year-old with long-term girlfriend Rashida Jones, and also he's moved here, sunny Los Angeles. Thanks so much for doing this.
My pleasure.
Before we get into your music career, I actually wanted to go right back, because I understand there was a period of time where you were an 8th grade English teacher, right?
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah.
What kind of teacher were you? Were you a particularly strict teacher? Were you a particularly casual teacher? Evaluate yourself if you'd been a student.
Well, it was so like, it was kind of bewildering, so I don't even know what I was doing. I was, 23, which is, certainly a lot older than an 8th grader. But then in retrospect, sometimes the kids would just roast me.
Yeah.
Just say wild shit about like my girlfriend or something. Like, it's so weird, and I just like turn my head. I just have to be like thinking about it and be like, go to the principal. I did like try to reassert myself because it was just so beyond.
My mum was a high school teacher,
really?
so I was raised in an environment where like you could tell when mum was employing her teacher training on me and my brother.
Right, because sometimes you have to broadcast authority even when you don't feel it.
So this might be a dumb question, and I'm sure it's come up before, but do you ever have a sliding doors moment where you're like, what if I had stayed doing that?
Yeah, because music's the type of job that you constantly want to quit. So that was probably one of the hardest years of my life, just in terms of the sheer amount of work, because I was a teacher Monday through Friday, waking up at 7 a.m., going to get my coffee at the bodega, walking to school, teaching all day. It's a very stressful environment, fun but also stressful. Going home, feeling exhausted, I would take the bus to go record the Vampire Weekend album. We'd play shows. And then on a couple Saturdays a month, I had to go to graduate school for my teaching masters at Pace University. But the only way I could have done that stuff is that you just have this kind of enthusiasm. It was hard, but you were young and excited, and the idea of like expressing yourself with an album and
that propels you forward.
It was so, think about it also, Vampire Weekend, I maybe have never quite articulated this. It's so just fundamentally absurd. With songs, titles like Oxford Comma or something, and the way we dressed, the fact that the first album had any success at all, you can imagine that it was like, wait, what? This is crazy. I think a lot of people heard the first Vampire Weekend album and were like, this is a novelty album.
Yeah, no, I think there was a bit of that.
It's like college preppy dress up, and I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, those two albums, so much youthful energy and ambition and excitement and surprise at an opportunity and fear of losing that opportunity. So then you get to the third album, and then it was very difficult to make. It was made in a difficult period.
Why was Modern Vampires hard? Why was it stressful?
Started reflecting on it a little bit. I think on a very basic level, I was just depressed. Sometimes you just have years where I think we've all been there. Just years where you don't know exactly why you feel empty or chasing that feeling of like, this will finally make me happy or something. You increasingly, the older you get, look at it as it's like an addiction or something, where you're just like, oh no, dude, that's really not gonna make you happy. No, please don't put so many eggs in that basket. It's a weird transitional moment.
Something's happening in the country, and the government's to blame.
One of the things you did in the interim was you campaigned with Bernie Sanders. Mm-hmm. I guess I was curious about why did that matter so much in that moment?
The Democrats and the Republicans share a few too many things in common to make you feel comfortable. To see an independent running in the Democratic Party, that was really exciting. And then it was interesting to just witness how excited people got about Bernie, like young people. Especially because he's not doing that whole like press run where they're like, what kind of hip hop are you into, Bernie? Like he just, whatever, that's just not him. To see the sheer number of people who came together for things that, in my lifetime, we'd been kind of told were niche ideas, My dad was in a union, and he got a scholarship from his union that contributed to being able to afford to go to Columbia and stuff. And maybe the Twitter trauma of that election makes me a little less enthusiastic. This time, some of the way people talk to each other on Twitter, I just can't watch it.
It sort of enables like a fast twitch muscle. You know, whoever can respond to something angriest or meanest or snarkiest first. It's like it actually rewards those instincts.
And the funny thing is, I don't think anybody disagrees with that.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees with it.
Including people that work at Twitter,
Yeah, right. So it was just kind of a bad vibe.
Something about you that people might not necessarily know is that before Vampire Weekend, you put a lot of effort into rap. You used to be in like rap battles.
Oh yeah, a little bit, yeah.
One of the things I heard you say is that you struggle to find your voice in rap,
Right.
and I'm wondering if you could kind of explain to me, what did you mean by that?
Well, it's funny. I mean, at the time, whenever I said that, I was probably thinking in some, pretentious artistic way that like I didn't know the artistic vision I wanted to communicate with the medium of rap. Thinking about it now as an older person, it might be as simple as I couldn't help but change my accent. Like people talk about that a lot now, use the phrase blaccent.
Yeah.
And it is something that probably everyone who's not black should think about more. Borrowing words and ways of speaking that you don't use in your... That's fundamentally dishonest and you can go as far as to call racist. These are hot button topics, right? Like you can love hip hop without making that your identity. It might be as simple as being like, yeah, I shouldn't rap. That might be the first step.
Most of this new album has obviously been written over the last 6 years, but one of the things that's happened in the interim is obviously you've become a dad.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing that surprised you about that process? Something that you didn't expect?
We took a vow in summertime. Now we find ourselves in late December.
It's such an interesting mix of the absolutely exceptional and the most mundane. I truly feel like I'm like the high school dad.
Yeah.
It's like, we're having a baby. Yeah, I know it's weird, but I'm still gonna make sure I graduate. That's because like I know so many
I
people.
will make that album release day.
I just know so many older people who don't have children.
Begins, and the stone walls of harmony all bear witness.
That's why I like to work in homey, chill environments because I know that the best ideas I ever came up with in my life were on the bus, taking a walk, buying a cup of cheap coffee, sitting around with an unplugged electric guitar, like a shitty one. The best ideas I ever came up with in my life happen in environments like that. So in that sense, it's not surprising that I wanted to take a few years off from just even thinking about music, so I could at least somehow get back to that feeling, because that truly is the part of music that I always liked.
Ezra, it's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.